Yo, what's going on, you guys? This is your boy 3 Stacks in this thing, representing the squad. And today we're gonna go over an update on my Altergeist. We did a lot of playtesting with them. I've been up all night just upgrading and tweaking decks, getting ready to do more profiles, provide more content for the channel. And I just learned a few things about this deck, learned a lot more than I knew from the beginning, and how powerful it really is. There's so much interactions that I did not know were possible until I got into those situations where I'm like, this is a bad hand, let's make it work. But the deck is really impressive. I'm very surprised that, like, literally how Konami released one card and it did like that much for an archetype. Like, Multi-Faker really just it helped this deck to settle into some boots that it couldn't fit in to begin with. So let's hop right into the main deck. So starting off with monsters, we are playing 3 Multi-Fakers. It's the reason why this deck can actually be more aggressive. In the past, it was like any other stun deck. It was pretty slow. It was control oriented, and it could, it could negate things and it could stop your opponent from playing. But it had an issue with producing damage and having, an actual win condition. And now it's able to do so, and it can just set up its extra deck plays way faster because of this card. There's so many ways you could trigger him. You can even trigger him off of Prime Banshee. You can search him off Personal Spoofing and resolve him. If he's in the grave, you can hit him off Marionetter and go off again with his combos. You can even special him from the grave off of Altergeist Manifestation. There are so many different ways for you to trigger your Multi-Faker. It's just insane. This deck is going to be turboing this card out every single duel. You're never not going to see it. And that's what I think is pretty interesting because you play 3 of this. You play 3 Personal Spoofings. And then in addition to that, you play 3 Molaseeks, and Molaseek into Elite Karibo still searches this. So you play like 9 ways to get to this card. You're always going to see it. And then for your the rest of the Altergeist monsters, I play 3 Marionetter. Marionetter is really, really powerful. There's ways that you can plus off of this card. And also it helps me to set up my combos for Link Summoning a lot more consistently. Because once I make like an Hextia or even a Prime Banshee, I can use the Marionetter to bring those back from the graveyard, and I can set it up to where they're pointing to something. After that, I normally just link off with them and go into Knightmare plays. And also the cool thing is, because these have link arrows, what I did, I'd summoned Griffin, but he wasn't linked to anything. I did it on purpose so that on standby or, whenever I want it in the middle of the main phase when they're comboing off, I can activate Altergeist Manifestation and summon one of these where their arrows point to Griffin, and now they're under the lock. And it's something that I just figured out by myself playtesting. So I was like, wow, Marionetter is really powerful. It's just such a great card. It's almost like, in equivalence, it's the second best card. Like Multi-Faker is the first. And then we do play 3 Molaseek for the grind gains, for picking off pesky cards that can stop you, like Floodgates, and even Denko Sekas, continuous traps that will stop you. Like even a mistake, for example, your deck needs to search a lot. This card is an out to almost everything. And it also searches your engines. And in time, it helps you to get more damage. It's really, really strong. And I do play 2 Kirans. I like this card a lot. Its best effect is actually when it hits the grave and adds the traps from grave to hand. Because you can actually loop your manifestations with this Prime Banshee. You set up this infinite loop. If you play Burning Abyss, the loop is in equivalence to Dante and Seer. Dante, Seer, you just keep looping them. So you just keep bringing this back off manifestation, keep adding manifestation back off of this, and you have Kirin consistently every turn. Kirin. It's crazy. Like, I've even done the protocol to send manifestation, because manifestation equips itself to whatever it's summoned. So what you do is you protocol and send manifestation to negate, and then on a separate chaining, manifestation when it leaves the field will destroy the monster, right? So you chain Selaquitas to that, you bounce something else, and then he dies because of the manifestation. So you just get more value, just more interruption from your plays. This card is just insane because he adds the traps from grave to hand. And he's Kirin, but like I said, the best effect is to add your traps from grave to hand. That's how you grind. That's how you just do infinite resource. And I do play 1 Konkuri. Konkuri is pretty dope. I like it because it is a battle trap, but also you can summon this off a Multi-Faker in the middle of plays. Like, I've even gone off to where I'm like, battle phase, all right, manifestation, summon Multi-Faker right here where it points to Hexia, so I can negate like a battle trap or anything like that. And then I resolve it in special this, use him, negate something, and then I just go in after that for the kill. It's a really, really powerful card. I like it a lot. And surprise, I'm actually playing Altergeist Spellbooks. Like you know, it's not a standard Altergeist deck. Name one time you've ever came to my channel and seen any deck that was standard. My apologies for the background noise. Just kind of, you know, it's American wedding. We're just chilling at my crib right now. But yeah, the blue boy is really good because you can play Spellbook and Knowledge with, you can play Secrets and Knowledge without blue boy, but he mitigates for the issue where you open Secrets and no spellcasters. That way you can still get the +1. So that's why I feel like it's valuable to still play just the one blue boy, because it'll help you to not draw the dead secrets. And that's it for the monsters. For the spells, we have 2 copies of Spellbook of Secrets and also 2 copies of Knowledge. In tandem with that, we play 2 copies of Pot of Desires. These are your +1s. They're better than Duality because you can still special summon. I understand the whole theory with Duality where you can dig for specific cards, but I'd much rather get a +1, get more cards than what I started with, and still be able to special summon. Because there are even times when you go infinite and permanent and you have multi-faker, now you're special summoning on your first turn. When you have cards like Duality, it stops you and hinders your plays when you can make a turn 0 play with impermanence and your curing guy, and then you make this on turn 1, and you just set up for more negates, more disruption. You can't do that if you Duality. So these are better than Duality for me because they're +1s and I can still special summon. And then I also play 2 copies of Scapegoat. Scapegoat's pretty awesome. Now, people have told me, like, you know, it's stupid to play this card because it conflicts with Multi-Faker. But I was like, you know, even when I get Multi-Faker and when I resolve it, I'm not resolving it a billion times a duel. You know, I naturally resolve it. The first time I resolve it, I'm so far ahead that I really don't need to resolve it again if necessary. And then there's also times when your opponent Ash Blossoms you, they Ogre you, and then they evenly match or something like that. And you can pretty much chunk block the evenly match because tokens cannot be banished face down. So if they evenly match you, you could just like chain this. And while everything else will get banished, you get to keep your tokens so you still have a follow-up. So that's an interaction that this has. The other interaction is when they red reboot you and you can't really manifestation and they Ash Blossom your multi-faker. The other interaction is when, you know, your board gets wiped and now, like, you know, you can't resolve anything. And like I said, they shut down your multi-faker. It's not always going to resolve. So this is not only a safety precautious measure, but it's also an alternate win condition that you would never expect because they think, oh, it conflicts with multi-faker. So I like it. Scapegoat is just a win con. It's really good. It makes, what, I think 60% of the Knightmare board. The rest you can finish off on your turn by literally just normal summoning a Marionetter and using him to special summon your multi-faker from grave. Use that, bring back, like, it's just crazy. You just go off. So that's it for the spells. I play, instead of just 3 spells, I play 8 spells. 2, 2, 2, 2, and 2 in all of them. Because while they're good spells, I didn't want to open up with more than one of either one of them. That's why I like the 2 ratio on all of them. So if I see them, I know that I'll see 1 more consistently than I'll see 2 because they're not 3-ofs. There's a chance that you can draw all your 1-ofs as well, but the percentage matters. So that's why I played just 2 of each. For your traps, we're playing 3 personal movements. My apologies, you guys, I'm sick, but it's okay. It doesn't even matter. But that's why my voice sounds weird. So 3 personal spoofings. This is basically your multi-faker. There's also cool interactions where you draw into your curing guy and you much rather be able to special him from the deck off of your multi-faker because you hate to normal summon him, right? So you can use this and then put him back and then add your multi-faker. That way he's back in the deck to be special. Because sometimes Desires banishes one, right? Like there's even a time where I Desires banish this and then drew into this and then spoofing put this back, grab multi-faker resolve, special himself and this from the deck. So there's a lot of interactions that spoofing provides. It's so good. Like it really is. It's a great card. Like I can sit here and talk about all kinds of spoofing plays that you can make. It's a great opener. It's a great hold me down kind of wall up play, and it's also a great combo piece. Then we have 3 protocols. The reason why I like 3 protocols is because I like to draw this card. I like to have more targets for Marionetter. I don't want to banish all my protocols off of Desires. In addition to that, I really need to see this card because it's not about negating monsters. It's the fact that my effects cannot be negated. I need that protection for mirror matches, for you know, just certain matchups where they make boards full of negates. If you can allow this to resolve somehow, some way, get this to resolve, everything else is going to resolve after that because they can't negate it. Then you have 2 copies of Manifestation. Another thing is too is Protocol can be baited. I forgot to mention that because while you can only use the effect of Protocol to negate once per turn, you can activate more than one. So if you activate one and they negate it because they don't want your plays to go through, they want to try to negate your Altergeist, you can chain the second one. So it's really good to play it at 3. I promise you, I'm not lying. It's a really, really good staple at 3. And 2, Manifestation. While it's a great and powerful trap and it's one of my favorites, you can loop these. You can loop 1 off of just Soul Kitties, Prime Banshee. You can keep looping it. I never really banish it from grave to add another trap because the only other target that I have is Protocol, and I don't really care about adding Protocol because I can grab it from my graveyard anyways with Soul Kitties. So I always leave my Manifestation in grave so I can add it back. It's a rare occasion when you banish it to add something back because like your grind game, you already like can grind to infinity practically. But if necessary, that's there, you know, for that ability. And then don't forget you can make Griffin to set any trap you need. So that's pretty much it for your Altergeist stuff. The one last one that I play is Emalalef, or however you pronounce it. This protects your skulls from Twin Twisters and also from Cyclones. And what's really cool also is it actually comes out as an Altergeist monster and as a spellcaster. I had an awkward hand where I had no spellcasters but a knowledge. And I was able to, you know, flip my trap, stun, flip this on my standby, and then knowledge it away and drew into Marionetter and Multi-Faker, and that was just like amazing. So it's a really, really good, it's like a Captain Save-A-Ho, you can say. And protecting your back rows, all your Altergeists from being targeted or destroyed is insane. And then especially in this as an extender to go into your Link monsters, it's even better. Like, so this trap is just too good to not play. And then it goes for damage too. Like I've even done it in battle phase. Like I flip this, summon it right under Hextia to give it the boost to swing. And then you go from, instead of 15 damage, now you go 29, 14, 4,300 damage instead of just the 15. So there's just too many good interactions with that trap to not play at least one of it. And then I do play triple infinite impermanence because I love the turn 0 play. Impermanence Multi-Faker is a great combo. I think the best combo really is evenly matched Multi-Faker or torrential Multi-Faker. But there's also, you know, like Floodgate Multi-Faker, like Rivalry or Anti-Spell, you know, Judgment Multi-Faker, Strike. Like any powerful trap backed up with the Multi-Faker is like, you neg, now I'm plussing. This is really good. Like the turn 0 play is insane. There's very few decks that can do turn 0 plays. Hand trap exists, but they're not plays. They're just play stoppers. This plus Multi-Faker is an actual combo. It's really good. So I play 3. And it also helps me because if you notice in my main deck, I don't play any hand traps because I'm testing it out with no hand traps. So this helps me because it's an actual trap that you can play from hand. And it can hit practically anything. Then for the rest of your traps, I play a full Solemn package. Triple Strike, Warning, and Judgment. And I did max already on all of them because I've had the Solemns for a while. They just been there. So I've just, you know, switched them out between all my decks. So I'll show you how you can break any board. So if you have a strike or a warning, I'm sorry, not a warning. If you have a strike or a protocol, like more than likely, if you back your torrential or your rivalry, the warlords, back it up with a strike or a protocol, like you're probably gonna break that board. But the strike is guaranteed. Like the only thing that they can do to stop it is probably Red Reboot. But if you're playing Red Reboot as well, which you know we cite that, if you have it in your hand, you're gonna resolve it. Their board's gonna get wiped. So they pretty much, people get greedy, you torrential them, you punish them for overcommitting, and then they're like chain, you know, for example, Naruto, just for example, or, you know, to negate, and then you're like chain link 3, Solemn Strike, negate the Naruto, the board's wiped now. And then on resolution, Multi-Faker, it's busted. And Rivalry does not conflict with this deck because all your monsters are spellcasters. You don't even need to control anything that's not spellcasters. You can go into your standard Altergeist Link monsters and they will hold you down. So this is just so one-sided, it's not even fair. And then we do have 2 anti-spells. Even though I play 8 spells, I still felt that it was valuable to main the anti-spells because it hurts every other deck more than it hurts me. Even if I play spells, I know that Pendulums will suffer more than I'll suffer. I don't mind setting my secrets. I don't mind setting my Scapegoat. Scapegoat needs to be set anyways. I don't mind setting my desires and waiting a turn. My deck is a trap deck. I don't need to play everything right now. Does it make sense? So anti-spell does not hurt me at all. Now for the extra deck, we have 2 Hextia. This card is just insane, dude. Like I do so much crazy combos with this card. It's just ridiculous. I've even got pluses where I did the turn 0 Multi-Faker. Went into Maliseek instead, linked into this. I searched Marionetter, normal the Marionetter, used his effective search, brought back the multi-faker, went off again. But what I did was I used the Marionetter to send this instead of himself, so I sent this to the grave. Brought back the multi-faker, went off with the combo, used that search, and I had manifestation and then protocol, and then had another manifestation, then flip manifestation, summon this to where it's pointing. It was just, I was going off, dude. And like what I ended up doing was after I resolved the Marionetter to do multi-faker, I ended up bringing out the Kieran. So I linked with the Marionetter and the multi-faker for the second Hexia. The first one was engraved. Then I did a manifestation, special it like this, and then the Kieran dude was right here. So I could bounce, negate, negate. And then if I needed to, I can use the second manifestation to summon something right here to negate again. And it's just insane, like how you just combo off of this card, the OTK potential, and having that one pointing arrow to where, like I said, you can do the lock all over again. Even before, when my board kind of got busted a little bit, like wide open, like they broke the the Griffin play, right? And then out of nowhere, you just in phase manifestation to get this Knightmare monster calling so that you can still do the draw plays. So like it's just crazy, like the plays you can do with the Altergeist links and the fact that you can revive them infinite times off Marionetter and Manifestation, it's just ridiculous. You don't need 3 of this card. And it searches anything. Like I even did this with the Molseek, searched, and then Spellbook of Knowledge this just to be greedy and get a +3. +3, dude. Prime Banshee, one of the best extenders. Your grind games are going to go into infinity because of this card. It also helps that you can tribute your Molseek, for example, or even your Soliquise, special a bigger body and get their effect in grave to either search or add from grave. And then when this card's sent from the field to grave, you add another resource like your manifestation. And then whenever you're ready, you manifestation this to where Hextia points to it. And then you can also do that in battle phase. So you can go manifestation, summon this, swing for 21, and then Hextia go in for 36. Like there's a lot of plays you can make with these cards. They're just insane. And I do play the Kildoga because, like the Prime Banshee, it's a grind game piece to add your resources back, and then also being able to monster reborn your opponent's monsters is kind of just like, it's really cheeky. All you got to do is just Molseek. It's so easy to get Molseek. You can search it so many different ways. You just Molseek and then take their monster, and it's really funny. So I still like to play the 1. Then I play a Knightmare package that's not full. I'm not doing Italy or Mermaid because I don't really... This deck is not like that. It doesn't combo off that heavy turn 1. Like, it's powerful, turn 1 plays is just this. And then a lot of back row and multi-faker. Like, we don't turn 1 just bust the huge board open because it's just like, it's not Gokis and it's not Spirals. But once after turn 1 and you set up, yeah, your turn 2, you actually can do this. Because you'll be established with multi-fakers, manifestations, marionetters, all the extenders that you need to just special, search, and keep going. So I like these a lot because they do help me going second. And this, you can make this turn 2. Like after you set up with your Hextias, you pretty much, you do it like this. You do Hextia, and then you put this there, and then you put this there, and then make sure something's pointing to him. And what this basically says is monsters that are not linked cannot activate their effects, but as long as the arrows point, they're linked. Even though they're not co-linked, they're still linked, if that makes sense. So you can still resolve your Hextia to negate, the evenly, for example, because they're trying to get rid of your board. Because like if they evenly and then you lose the arrows, like Griffin doesn't matter because they're not linked or whatever. However you want to do it. But yeah, really, really good. The Knightmare cards are just busted. And then I've got some more generics. I've got a Borload because that's a Grown Man card right there. We've got Topo because it's easy to resolve. Like you can multi-faker, obviously. You can manifestation. You can do your scapegoat if necessary. Like there's a lot of ways you can do it. You can even like normal summon Marionetter and use his effect to bring back this guy. Summon it right here, and then blow up the field just to get a free search off of this on a separate chain link. And, search your manifestation. Like, there's so many combos and plays you can make with Topo. Like, you have to play this card in Altergeist. It's insane. And it gives you another win con. And then Underclock for damage. And it's part of the Scapegoat plays. Misses. Link Karibo for your Scapegoat and for your Molseek. And then Link Spotter as part of the Scapegoat as well. Whenever it's like a weird game state, like it doesn't even have to be simplified. It could just be awkward where like we both need to push for damage. So this plus this, you know, that does help you to get some damage in. And, you know, whenever you're done, you can make different plays after that. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the deck profile, you guys. There's a lot more that I'm learning about this deck. I'm just explaining to you guys, you know, everything that I've learned so far and, you know, throughout the course of the profile, explaining to you guys all the interactions that I have learned myself just by practicing with my deck. So that concludes the profile, you guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. God bless you. Make good choices. Don't hurt your brain cells. Definitely stay tuned. After this, we have Lair of Darkness Infernoids as the people requested. I'm trying to deliver. We've got an update on a couple FTK decks. We've got Vendrats. We've got Dark Lord, Lair of Darkness. And then we've got True King Yang Zings, baby. True King Yang Zings. So we grinding, man. I'm not going to go to sleep until you guys go to sleep. I mean, nah, I'm not going to go to sleep till you guys wake up. Peace out, yo.